come here and claim that he can talk to the elements. And so far, he's been really convincing. But we need one big push, but you don't. Because see, anything that get greater than what you saw already is going to be bad. So the idea is to stop all that now. Trust me on that. All right. So now what I want you to understand is that the people that was here in America when the white man got here were called Moors. They were not niggers, they was not blacks, they was not colored people. All right, they was not coons, they were not deerlings, they were not inmates, they was not baby daddies. All that shit came with his concrete jungle and his steel bars and his no you can't, no you not, and here goes some guns and here goes some crack. That's where all those titles came from. And for all that stuff to manifest and have strength and push behind it, all these name changes had to be implemented, because the name change is what's necessary to have possession and ownership over something. And it's really hard to get something to abide by your rhetoric without getting ownership of it. See, if you go to school the white man way, if you go to school, the way he gets ownership of you is he make you sign a contract saying that you was going to comply to certain circumstances if he allowed you to be in his school. But what's funny is that under most of the circumstances, you have to pay for the privilege to become knowledged and learned in this world. And that's because of how he took everything with his guns and created a world where he can claim ownership of everything. This is my building because I built it after I killed all the people who land it was that's not here now to protest me. So don't protest me or I'll kill you too. By my police officers that I murdered all their parents and trained them from small kids to worship me as God. So that's where we at. Now let me show you how this works. It says the political and social metamorphosis of West African Moors who were made into American Negroes, blacks, colored people, and today's African Americans, NBCs, slaves, chattel property, is very analogous to how sardines are made. There are many species of small fish indigenous to the great seas of the earth, and the great God did in fact create them all. Yet there is not one fish in any of the seas named sardine. Like the NBC, that means Negro, blacks, and colored, these special fish are not labeled sardines until captured, processed, and canned by man. Okay, now listen to what I was saying about the circumstances of everything being encapsulated under conditions of control. First, you're a person with freedom of movement. You're roaming through the forest, using what the universe gave you to naturally sustain yourself with no opposition from any man with paperwork claiming ownership of anything. Okay? So you're unprohibited by rhetoric or force of gun and gangster tactics to make you an abiding recipient of hell. Okay, now let me finish. A trivia research shows the brand name sardine derived from Sardinia, an Italian island in the Mediterranean Sea. The word sardine actually refers to many groups of small fishes, pilchards, sprats, and Atlantic herrings. Mostly young herrings are the primary fishes which make the array of food fish called sardines. Pending where they are caught, the fish are then denationalized, commercialized, and advertised as South African sardine, Pacific sardine, and of course, European sardines. Young herrings, which only grow from 9 to 12 inches, are packed without heads or tails. Naturally being without head and tail, who can trace the past status or future of the fish? Consequently, without these identifications, sardine is what they are called now. There are a variety of packaging operandi to the finale, which people call sardines. They are often smoked, packed in oil, water, mustard, or hot sauce, etc. Either way, the result is the true identity of the fish is legally concealed from the public under the marketing label sardines, speaking about the general public. Excuse me. Let me start this. They are often smoked, packed in oil, water, mustard, or hot sauce, etc. Either way, the result is the true identity of the fish is legally concealed from the public under the marketing label sardine, speaking about the general public. Okay, it is. I just didn't come out right. They are often smoked, packed in oil, water, mustard, or hot sauce, etc. Either way, the result is the true identity of the fish is legally concealed from the public under the marketing label sardines. Speaking about the general public, not many people notice there is tuna in cans of tuna, salmon in cans of salmon, and mackerel in cans of mackerel. But what on earth that was once in the sea is in cans of sardines? Let me explain to you what he means. What he means is this. There is no fish in the ocean named sardines. There was a place called Sardinias, an Italian island in the Mediterranean Sea, which is over near Italy. And the word sardine actually refers to many groups of small fishes, but that's what the people in the Sardinia Islands called them. It's not the true name of the fish. All right? Because what it says is the word sardine actually refers to many groups of small fishes, the pilchards, the sprats, and Atlantic herrings. Mostly young herrings are the primary fishes which make the array of food fish called sardines. Depending where they are caught, the fish are then denationalized. That means that they are no longer called herring. All right? That's what it means when they be caught by these different canners. What used to be known in the ocean as herring is all of a sudden known as sardines because the people that captured them out of the ocean wants to take ownership of them so they can market them, label them under a certain name identified by the consumer, and sell them. Now this is the same thing that happens when someone comes into your neighborhood, cut down your way of surviving and sustaining yourself, and build houses, and can you up in those houses, and make you pay rent to them, and then create circumstances where you don't have jobs and all that, where you could have to stay confined in one area, and then give you identification cards that you have to have your address and everything on. So if need be, they have to come and find you, they can. That's the same thing they do with these sardines. When they catch them in the ocean, they package them, put a little serial number on each can, and then write down the location where each can goes to live. So when they need to go collect their money off of that can of sardines, they know exactly who owes them because they know what number that fish that used to be a herring that becomes a product of theirs just because it gets caught up in their net. Just like you get caught up in the drug tank and you get canned and put in prison and be given a nice little number. And all this is just commercialism. That's all it is. It's huge profit in this European way of life. The way they process this fish and take it from being a herring and turn it into a sardine is the way they came into America and took the people that was here already, known as Moors, destroyed our lives here, destroyed our whole existence of self, of how we worship, how we agriculture, how we mingled with our spouses, how we had our unique connection with everybody all around the planet. All those things like that were destroyed and taken away from us by people that still to this day doesn't understand why I see the need to start educating myself from this book. You know, a lot of the stuff that I see the European people do when they see this, it's so taboo. You know, they want to run and scream like this is, you know, the end of the world, so bad, so horrible. These people, you can't find no footage of them anywhere doing the atrocious, horrible deeds of genocide that Bible claimed that they did. The only way you can justify that they ever did that is that you get the Bible and go into the Bible and let the Bible accuse them of that. But we know the people who wrote the Bible rely on these people because they just lied on me and wanted to have a jury trial on me because they said I stole a bike. The true reality is that the sunlight always wakes up us melanated people to do the job of keeping divine energy alive and actuated and actually in effect on all the planets, including this one. So all the people that has tried to frown on me trying to point out the inconsistency with people who have a religion that claim to be godlike and then have actions that is not synonymous with godly deeds. That's what I was sent here to do, and that's what I've done. No one can say beyond a shadow of a doubt that I didn't come to prove my case that evil is evil, and you're not going to try to make your evil be godly just because you have a lying-ass book that was written for dumb-ass people who were smart, but they were dumb because they weren't treacherous. And since they were very gentle-minded, docile people and easily programmable, someone took advantage of that and treated them very badly and dismembered them and raped them and stole everything from them. The knowledge is everything you can imagine horrible that could be done to a person was done to them. So the universe has sent me to this earth to collect these people and bring them back their knowledge of self and to show them the horrible crimes that has been inflicted upon them and to point out the people that implement it. And that could be me. We all know that. So there's no sense in playing no games and trying to act like I'm the bad guy. I'm not going to go back into the computer and bring up none of that stuff anymore. Show it to anyone. I'm not. What I'm going to do is let everybody know that the light ships is not going to play games with anyone. The people that's going to be seeing the green lights are going to be instructed to give from your heart, is to know the universe has been giving you. Ain't nobody threatening you or harassing you or trying to twist your arm, anything. It's just really necessity. You can't sit on the planet and know the damage you've done to us people. And you sitting up still have a job, and you know so many of us is doing without, and you're gonna be here and able to contribute to the cause of the building up, and then you don't, fine. There'll be more sinkholes. It's just real simple. And I tell you like that because that's the way the universe tell me to do it. They say, you know what? You get on the post office box number, and you tell them your name, which is Paul Shields. We know that. Paulshields. Real simple. You guys are going to be getting spiritual information through your brain. It's going to say, okay, send his ass some money. You got it. You're doing good. You know he need it. You know ain't nobody going to be trying to give him a job. He already explained he only want one. I already know that. You know what's going to happen. Be out there, went through all that trouble, get a job, run into idiots, don't like my propaganda, don't like my philosophy. We can't have him telling people not to love Jesus. I know there's a lot of black people out there. I ain't seen his ass shit. He don't love Jesus. He don't deserve nothing. See, that's why I'm in the predicament that I'm in. Because I come out here and tell the truth that